If I had a pound for every report which has landed on my desk over the years whose expert predictions turned out to be 100% wrong, I could probably take the family off for a decent couple of weeks in the Bahamas. Boris permitting. Naturally, off the top of my head I remember this time last year a leading estate agent confidently predicting house prices would plummet 10% in 2021. In fact, they are at record levels. In the months before the 2016 Brexit referendum we were told leaving the EU would spell doom for the British economy. That was the Treasury, by the way, more specifically that fabled financial soothsayer George Osborne. In the event, within 6 months the bean counters at the Office for National Statistics were rounding their economic predictions upwards as the country, and our economy, defied the Ramonas. But perhaps the lion's share of our derision for professional pollsters and their ilk should be reserved for all those who confidently predicted Britain would remain tethered to Mother Europe in that self-same Brexit referendum. On the eve of the vote, polling firm Populus put Remain ahead by 10 points at 55%. Ipsos Mori gave Remain a 4-point lead at 52%, and other major players Comres and YouGov also showed leads for Britain staying in the EU. It would seem almost churlish now to point out the obvious. More bewilderingly, in the 2019 general election one polling firm suggested Jeremy Corbyn was a serious threat to the Tories. At the same time I remember writing, a touch more sanely, that a banana could stand against Corbyn and the nana would win a thumping majority. Keep your jokes to yourselves and the cheap seats. What I have noticed over the years, however, is that surveys and polls always, but always, err on the side of the status quo, whether subliminally or as part of their methodology. If it's a close run thing, the party in power will get the nod. The established leader will edge out the Johnny-come-lately, and the existing political landscape will always win over a potential revolution. Despite recent events, 2 polls today put the First Minister in the driving seat to take 64 seats in Holyrood, up 3 on the current 61, and 1 short of a majority. This would provide the drippy Lorna Slater, she of the Scottish Greens, the whip hand. Now Lorna is of course fiercely pro-independence, what with being a Canadian and all. She is also, as we all witnessed during the leadership debate, apparently scared witless of Miss Sturgeon. So just a quick note for all you proud Scots desperate to free yourselves from the yoke of the English, Welsh and Northern Irish, you'll basically be being led by a Canadian. Very brave heart. But actually my guess is it's not going to happen. The Scottish voting system is weirdly over-complex, with Scots voting twice. A first vote for a person, and a second vote for a party, which then allocates MSPs as it sees fit. Because of this, even the polling firms slip in a caveat that the system may affect their predictions. But it's more than technicalities. Ms. Sturgeon has proved time and time again that while she may be a consummate politician, she's just not much of a leader. She knows a largely supine media and constant TV appearances guarantee her celebrity level status. And sometimes, depressingly, this is enough to win votes. But ultimately she's a one-trick pony, and the SNP is really a pressure group rather than a political party. Yes, she can push for independence with glossy PR skills of a top ad exec, but she can't run a successful adduction department to save her life. Scotland's hospitals are failing. Life expectancy north of the border is 2 years shorter than the rest of the UK. Drugs are a major problem. And despite her shameful attempt to buy votes by handing out free iPads to pupils, the Scottish public are wising up to the fact that she can run a party but is woeful at running a country. And that's before we even get to Alex Salmond's gleeful smiling assassin attempts to derail his erstwhile SNP apprentice. At the recent TV leadership debate, no one cared about Nicola's attempts to turn Scotland into a less economically viable Latvia. They wanted to know why literacy was falling in their schools and why Scots had to travel to England for any hope of receiving cancer treatment. Real things that matter, not Braveheart slogans. On the night of the Brexit referendum, even Nigel Farage accepted on Live TV that he'd failed after listening to the pollsters and taking them at their word. 3 hours later he was popping the champagne as it became clear the polls had got it very wrong. I'd advise similar caution with all polls regarding next month's Scottish election.